We all have a favorite college football team, but what many people don't really think about is the long and rich history of different stadiums throughout the country. Today, I'd like to try to persuade the audience that the University of Michigan is not only the largest stadium in America, but one of the most historic. This is in no way an attempt to make you become a fan, but give you enough information to entice you to want to watch a Michigan home game and see for yourself the excitement that over 100,000 fans experience each week. The University of Michigan football team ranks #1 in the country with the most all-time wins in college football history at 888 wins. And couple that with a .735 win percentage that is also tops in the country. Since the 1920s, when Michigan Stadium was constructed until current day, it remains one of the greatest sports arenas of the 20th century. Michigan Stadium is the third largest in the world after Ruggiero Mayday Stadium in North Korea and Salt Lake Stadium in India. We will take a look at the transformation and growth that is seen over the years. First, we take a look at the creation of the stadium. During the 1920s, colleges like Ohio State, Illinois, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Washington, and Northwestern were among dozens of universities that built stadiums of 50,000 or more seats. With the spectacular rise in football's popularity after World War I, U of M's athletic director, his name was Fielding Yost, he was determined that Michigan would have a stadium second to none. In 1927, Michigan Stadium was constructed at a cost of about $950,000. It contained 70 rows and was designed to seat 72,000 fans. Capacity was increased to 82,000 with the addition of wooden bleachers. The very first game played at the stadium was on October 1st, 1927, where the Wolverines defeated Ohio Wesleyan 33-0. In the dedication game of Michigan Stadium on October 22nd, the Wolverines blanked Ohio State before a crowd of 84,401. Later that year, the stadium erected electronic scoreboards at both ends of the stadium, becoming the first stadium to use electric scoreboards. Now that we have looked at how it all started, we'll take a closer look at some of the changes the stadium has seen through the decades. In 1949, permanent steel stands replaced the wooden bleachers, raising capacity of Michigan Stadium to 97,239. Now that was the first year that NCAA attendance records were kept, and Michigan led the nation with an average of 93,894 for each of its 6 home games. The nearest competitor, Ohio State, averaged only 76,429. Don't want to shortchange you Buckeye fans. In 1956, the capacity of the stadium was increased once again to 100,001 people, coining the name the Big House. November of 1968, Michigan played its final game on grass for the next 22 seasons. By July of 1969, approximately 88,000 feet of artificial turf was installed. The stadium would later return to grass in around May of 1991. Lastly, we're going to take a look at some of the attendance records over the years. First, in 1946, 514,598 of the Wolverine faithful filed into the stadium as Michigan breaks the 500,000 mark for the first time in a season. On October 6, 1968, the stadium hosted over 100,000 people for the first time as Michigan squared off against Michigan State in front of 101,001 people. November 8th of 1975 began a streak of 238 straight crowds of over 100,000 people, and that is a streak that is still alive today. September 10th of 2011, 114,804 were there for the home game against Notre Dame in Michigan Stadium for the first ever night game, an NCAA record still today. Now, today we have focused on some of the history and some of the records of the great Michigan Stadium and the Michigan football team. I'm confident with this new knowledge You'll want to check out a Michigan home game this year and see for yourself why it is known as the Big House. Go Blue. Thank you.